What is up, guys? So we're moving into another deck profile. We've got MEKK-KNIGHT Invoked. Before I get started, guys, hit that like button, leave a comment, and subscribe to my channel for more amazing deck profiles and Yu-Gi-Oh information. So guys, let's get right into it. We start off with the MEKK-KNIGHT package. I play 3 purple Nightfall, 3 blue sky, 1 of all the other little ones apart from 2 crabs. So that's 1 indigo, 1 red, 1 yellow, and 1 orca scarce. So these ratios are pretty standard for MEKK-KNIGHTs. Really, what you're aiming to do in this deck, especially with this, is you're going to use purple or blue to get to one of the other light MEKK-KNIGHTs and use them for your fusions or use them for links and then fuse off with them. Pretty standard package. It works really well in this deck. Then we move on to the Invoke side of the deck, which is going to be 3 Alistair the Invoker, 3 Magical Meltdown, and 2 Invocations. So the ratios can vary on this. You can play, some people play 3 Invocations, some people play 2. In my variant, I have a bit of a new tech in my deck, as you can see, and so I only play 2. But really and truly, your goal again is just getting the Alistair on the board, linking him off with the MEKK-KNIGHTs, making this amazing kind of advantage / grind game that most decks can't keep up with, and then just kind of pinging through their board with different things like Purgatory and stuff. Now, another special tech I have in this deck is going to be King of the Swamp. King of the Swamp is a great card in this deck, and people don't play it enough. So, what King of the Swamp essentially does is 2 things. Firstly, he searches Polymerization, and that effect is nice. It's not amazing. We do use that effect in this deck sometimes, though, which is why I have just 1 copy of Poly. But his real effect, which is so useful, is that he can be treated as a fusion material monster in the deck. So, he can be treated as Alistair for all of your Alistair fusions. Now, in Invoked, one of the biggest issues you'll come into is not drawing a way to get to Alistair. So it's like you can't even play that side of the deck. King of the Swamp essentially allows you to do that for free. And not only that, but he also does that in the graveyard as well. So, for example, what you can do is you can fuse off with a King of the Swamp in your hand and then banish him again to fuse in the grave. Now, I'll show you a combo with Alistair the Invoker of Madness, but with King of the Swamp and Alistair, you can get like 4 fusions on board. It's insane. You can just keep looping it and looping it and looping it. Guys, that card is amazing. I would definitely keep that free in my deck. I think it's just, it's basically another copy of Alistair. It's wonderful. Then moving past that, we have a couple of sort of hand traps and stuff. You play a pretty heavy hand trap / board breaking lineup in this deck. You are going to be going blind second most of the time because the deck is just amazing at doing that. Every part of your deck is geared towards it. The MEKK-KNIGHTs like column placement and will gain advantage. Alistair and Invocation do very well going second along with the fusions. So you generally want to go second. So I play. Now, your hand trap lineup, by the way, it can really vary. It depends on your format. I say this all the time. Before you go into a tournament, before you're doing anything or you're playing a match, look at the kind of meta, look at the kind of decks you might be playing, and gear your hand trap and board breaking lineup towards that. So for this, I've just kind of got some standard ones. I've got 3 Ash, 3 Veiler, 2 Nibiru, 3 Kaku, and 3 Imperm. Kaku is really strong in this deck just because there's a combo with him that can go into True King of all calamities, and right now that card is busted, guys. That card is basically a free win condition. So Kaku is a really nice card in this deck. But yeah, in general, you just want to kind of scope out what your tournament is. Then from there, you'll know what hand traps you need to be playing. Now, I play 1 Polymerization, that goes to the King of the Swamp. I'm going to play 1 World Legacy Succession and 1 World Legacy Secrets and 1 Monster Reborn. Succession is basically a free Monster Reborn that's searchable. Reborn, great card, and then Secrets. This is for when you're only playing the MEKK-KNIGHT side of your deck. It allows you to kind of play some column placement and just kind of shut your opponent out of the game. So your goal most of the time is going to be you want to clear and break their board with your hand traps and your invocations, and then it's about locking them out of the game either by going into VFD or by locking them out with a Macabre or Kaliga or Orgoadius. Orgoadius plus Kaliga is an amazing look that most decks just simply can't deal with, or using World Legacy Secrets and sliding your Indigo and your MEKK-KNIGHTs around to kind of block your opponent from activating any monster effects. So that's the main deck, guys. Again, very flexible in the main deck. You can do whatever you want with it, to be honest, but this is my way of doing it. Then we go into the extra deck. So we start with the engine of Almirage and Gardener. Now, this engine is amazing because it basically means Alistair is now a 1-card Purgatory or Macabre. That's the main strength of this engine, and that's why we play these 2. Cross Shape, again, just a stunning card for fusion archetypes. It does a lot. Invoker of Madness. Now, this card, guys, this card is really insane, and it's funny. I didn't used to really go into this card ever before, but I realized its real potential one day when I realized that its effect is not once per turn. You can keep using that discard and add an invocation effect over and over again, and that's what makes this deck just that powerful, because basically what you can essentially do is Polymerization, fusion summon a monster while Alice is on the board, discard a card, search another copy, and then your Alistair's loop as well. So basically, as long as you have more than one Alistair in your hand, you can essentially fuse something like 3 or 4 times just using this card. However many cards you have in your hand, that's how many times you're going to get to fuse. Up to the number of fusion spells you have in your deck, of course. But yeah, I mean, look, Alistair the Invoker of Madness, it's amazing, facilitates OTKs, generates so much advantage, and it's another Alistair, which is wonderful. 2 Morningstar. Morningstar is a great card. This card is the epitome of I don't read, so I lose games. People never read this card's effect, so he's really good for searching your World Legacy cards and just, in general, being a bit of a wall. He's a nice card to end on. Your opponent might be able to get over it, but a lot of the times they're going to have to waste a card effect just to destroy him, so he's a really good card. And then he's another light, which is nice for Macabre plays. Spectrum Supreme, this card is amazing. It's another card, again, people don't see it often, so you don't read it. The main strength of this card is ability essentially to punch straight through your opponent for 3k damage if it's the only card in its column. So this is a real strength in this deck. A lot of the times you're going to win games. I mean, I can't count the amount of times my opponent doesn't know what I'm going to do. They've got a board, they think I can't beat through it. I summon this, no cards in the column, punch straight through their board, and they're OTK and they don't know what happened. And this is one of the main reasons why I actually play both Yellow Star and Red Moon, just because the ability to combine these two with Spectrum Supreme to kind of clear whatever's in my way, link off, and then make Spectrum Supreme and OTK, it's really strong. Then we move on to that for Avramax. Great card, we like playing him, very easy to make in this deck. You can swap him for a lot of other link 4s, but I just happen to like him because he synergizes with the MEKK-KNIGHT cards. Then we play Access Code Talker. Access Code Talker, very strong link 4. Again, this can be replaced with cheaper alternatives, so don't worry too much if this is a bit too expensive for you. You can play Boral Sword, you can play Zero Boros, there are just so many other cards you can play. You could probably even play Blackluster Soldier pretty confidently in this deck, that's another very good card. Then moving on from that, I play 1 VFD. Macabre is level 9 and Gizmek Kaku is level 9. So if you see Gizmek Kaku and Alistair in your hand, or a way to get Alistair in your hand, that means that you instantly have a VFD, and VFD is a win condition on its own. This card needs to be banned. I mean, and on top of that, it's pennies. It's been printed so many times it doesn't cost anything. But yeah, moving to our fusion lineup, we play 1 Kaliga, 1 Purgatrio, 1 Orgoidis, 1 Macabre, or 2 Macabres actually. So again, the ratios are a bit standard. Some people like playing the Earth one, I'm not really a fan of it. But the main thing you want to be doing with these is Macabre is really going to be the first card you go into a lot of the time. It's just about getting those negates and banishes out. Purgatory is your OTK machine, and then Kaliga and Orgoidis are really good for making a wall against your opponent and just denying them from playing the game. So they're just really good cards. Then, moving on to the side deck, again, very flexible. These are just some examples of cards you can play. So, Evenly and Lightning Storm for clearing the board. Dark Rune and more, great against those decks like Dragon Link and Adamantipator for just negating their whole board. Lazio is another really strong card, stopping people from banishing, and Phantasmate. Again, you're all about the advantage in this game, so that's a really strong card for the side deck. So, guys, we're going to quickly get into some of the combos you can do in this deck. Alright guys, so here's some examples of some combos. So for example, this is a standard kind of VFD combo in this hand. It's really strong. And this is what makes the deck so good in my opinion. The ability to kind of bring monsters like VFD out randomly, even though it's obviously an unsearchable combo, just the ability to do that. Your opponent's never going to expect this, they make you go first. They're not even probably going to expect if they make you go second, but that's exactly what you can do with this deck. And it's part of what makes this deck so strong. So you can see now, I've gone into Amraj, brought out Kaku, go into Garden, now make Macabre, and then that's going to give me that VFD. So here's the invocation, activate invocation, banish my Macabre by banishing Alistair and Gardener. I've got 2 level 9s, overlay into VFD, and my opponent is shafted. And to be honest, to really take the cake, I could set a World Legacy Secret and bring out a Red Moon, just so that I have 3 negates to them as well. I mean, guys, this is amazing. And then obviously bring that invocation back to hand. I've got 2 Alistairs in hand, a VFD on field, a World Legacy Secret set. So if they destroy my VFD, or if I detach the VFD, when I did on their turn essentially, what I'm gonna do is just use VFD's effect, detach Macabre. They're not going to be able to activate any monster effects anyway, but then I can just bring that same Macabre back with the World Legacy Secret because it's any level 5 or higher monster, and now suddenly I have infinity monster negates. They're not activating any monster effects this turn. I mean, they're screwed. Amazing board. Let's go into another combo. So guys, this is another combo where I haven't actually drawn Alistair, but I have drawn the Orcus Gear. So now it's funny, I only play this card at 1, But there are variants of this deck that do quite well playing this card at 3. So I'm going to send my World Legacy Succession to the grave. I don't really care if I don't see it, because I'm expecting to destroy my opponent just by virtue of getting this card. But first, I can put those two on the field. Before I link summon, obviously I want to get my Nightfall out and get him looping. So let's banish that. Get the blue sky to hand. I mean, I've already got so much value in this hand. My opponent is going to struggle to do anything. But next thing I'm going to do is go into blue sky, special summon blue sky. Blue sky is going to get me another search. I'm going to add that indigo eclipse to my hand, and you can see, guys, look how much value I've got going into the Morning Star, using Morning Star to discard a card and add the secrets to my hand. And now I've already got 3 MEKK-KNIGHTs on the field. Really and truly, I should have used the blue sky so I could have blocked more columns, but it doesn't even matter. Set that, and now look, I've still got Nibiru in my hand. I've got 2 MEKK-KNIGHTs on the field. I'm going to special summon another one next turn. I've got an impermanent set as well. I mean, this is a strong board. And so these are just some of the combos you can do with this deck. It's just a really, really potent deck and really, really good deck for sort of learning how to go second and really just interact with your opponent. So guys, if you like this profile, hit this video with a like, comment on it, subscribe to the channel for more, and I'll talk to you all soon. Peace.